a serum retailing at $320 per ounce, can list water as its first ingredient and alcohol as its third. The dropper is hand-blown glass. The box is embossed. The clinical-sounding name on the front was trademarked by a marketing department, not a laboratory. And the active ingredient the brand built its entire campaign around appears in a concentration too low to produce the effect described on the packaging. This is not rare. This is the operating model for a significant portion of the luxury serum market. The serum is the highest margin product category in prestige skincare. It commands the highest price per milliliter, carries the most aggressive efficacy language, and operates with the least regulatory scrutiny of any cosmetic category. Brands know this. The buyer usually does not. By the end of this video, you will know which serums are charging luxury prices for clinically substantiated formulas, and which ones are charging you for the dropper, the brand story, and the illusion of science. The word serum has no regulated definition in cosmetics. A brand can call any liquid product a serum, regardless of its concentration, its ingredient quality, or its clinical testing history. What that means in practice is that the category is entirely self-regulated by the brands selling into it. The prices can be anything. The claims can push to the edge of what regulators allow, and the buyer has almost no third-party verification available at the point of purchase. This audit examines 7 serums, each with strong brand recognition, significant retail presence, and a price point that implies clinical-grade performance. The evaluation criteria are consistent across all 7: ingredient transparency, active concentration disclosure, the ratio of functional to cosmetic ingredients, price per milliliter, and the relationship between what the brand says and what the formula shows. We begin with the least egregious case and build toward the one that, in my assessment, represents the widest gap between price and substantiated performance. The final entry on this list may be sitting on your bathroom shelf right now. Lancôme launched the original Genifique serum in 2009. The core marketing language was built around the word youth activating, and a claim that the formula targets the skin's microbiome. By 2020, microbiome had become one of the most powerful words in prestige skincare marketing, and Lancôme had positioned itself at the center of that language years before most competitors. Lancôme is owned by L'Oréal. The Genifique Grey Trials at approximately $1 and $15 for 50 millions. The formula does contain bifidus extract, a probiotic-derived ingredient that has genuine published research supporting its function as a skin-soothing and barrier-supporting agent. This is one of the more defensible hero ingredients in this category. The formula also contains hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and a sorbyl glucoside, a stabilized vitamin C derivative. The concern is not what is in the formula. The concern is what the brand implies these ingredients do. Youth activating, microbiome science. These phrases exist at the outer boundary of what cosmetics regulations permit, deliberately suggesting therapeutic outcomes that a cosmetic product cannot legally claim to produce. The formula is competent. The language around it is stretched. At 115 malas for 50 malanes, the buyer is paying for a well-made product that is significantly overpromised. Sisley is one of the few remaining family-owned prestige beauty houses. Founded in 1976 by Hubert Giordano in Paris, it operates without external private equity ownership and retains formulation authority in-house. That independence has historically produced genuinely differentiated products. It also produces pricing that requires examination. The Black Rose Precious Face Oil retails at approximately $245 for 25 milliliters. That is roughly $9.80 per milliliter, one of the highest per milliliter rates in non-prescription facial oils at general retail. The formula is a blend of plant-based oils, sweet almond, macadamia, rosehip, argan, and black rose extract. These are legitimate, skin-compatible oils with published evidence supporting their hydration and barrier function. Rosehip oil in particular has a meaningful body of research behind it. The critical question is price justification. Rosehip oil of comparable grade retails at a fraction of the cost per milliliter. Sweet almond and macadamia oils are among the most widely available cosmetic base oils in the market. The black rose extract is real. Its concentration in this formula is not disclosed. The formula is elegant and effective for what it is. Whether the formulation cost, rather than the Sisley brand positioning and the dark glass bottle, accounts for the $245 price point is a question the brand does not answer. Christian Dior entered skincare in 1985. The Capsule line became the house's flagship anti-aging franchise. The Capsule Total Le Serum retails at approximately $195 for 30 ml or approximately $6.50 per milliliter. The brand's hero ingredient is longoza, a rare Madagascan flower extract sourced from a plantation the brand has publicly documented. The sourcing story is genuinely compelling and unusually transparent for this category. The botanical origin is real. What the brand wants you to believe, that longoza, through its unique molecular profile, activates skin's internal renewal signals in a way no other ingredient can replicate. What the formula shows, longoza extract appears in the ingredient list at a position that places it behind multiple emollients, silicones, and standard humectants. In cosmetic formulation, position in the ingredient list indicates relative concentration. The ingredient that anchors the entire brand narrative for this product is present in a concentration the formula does not disclose, and the position suggests is modest. There are legitimate ingredients in this formula. Adenosine, glycerin, and niacinamide all have strong research support. The issue is the gap between the botanical storytelling and what the ingredient list actually prioritizes. Buyers deserve to know which one they are paying for. These are not complicated. They take 3 minutes at the point of purchase or before placing an order online. 1. Locate the hero ingredient in the full ingredient list. Every prestige brand markets a signature ingredient. Find it in the INCI list, the full mandatory disclosure. If it appears in the lower third of the ingredient list, it is present in a very small concentration, often below levels documented in published research to produce measurable skin effects. An ingredient that the brand prices its entire campaign around should be visible in the top third of the list to have clinical credibility. 2. Count how many of the first 10 ingredients are functional versus cosmetic. Functional ingredients do something measurable, glycerin hydrates, niacinamide addresses uneven tone, retinoids accelerate cell turnover, ascorbic acid works as an antioxidant. Cosmetic ingredients improve texture, spreadability, and fragrance. Neither category is inherently wrong, but a serum charging $200 per ounce that opens with 5 texture agents and 1 functional active is a hydrating gel in a clinical-looking bottle. 3. Check whether the brand publishes concentration data. Brands confident in their formulations disclose the percentage of key actives. A serum that states 5% niacinamide or 0.3% retinol is showing you its work. A brand that does not disclose concentrations is asking you to trust the price tag instead of the formula. In 2026, concentration disclosure is not standard practice across the luxury tier. It should be. The brands that do it are telling you something important about the ones that don't. 4. Calculate the price per milliliter. Take the retail price and divide by the volume in milliliters. This single number makes comparison honest. A serum at $180 for 30 ml costs 6 milliliter. A serum at $28 for 30 ml costs approximately $0.93 per milliliter. If both formulas open with the same first 5 ingredients, the $6 per milliliter buyer is paying for something other than formulation. That something might be worth it to you. But you should know what you are buying. Advanced Night Repair launched in 1982. It is one of the longest-running, highest-selling serums in global prestige skincare. The brand has invested decades of clinical language into its positioning. The current formula retails at approximately $115 for 50 ml. The hero ingredient is the Chronolux CB technology, a proprietary complex the brand describes as working in synchrony with skin's natural nighttime repair processes. The language is calibrated with precision, works in synchrony with, not triggers, not escalates. The language implies a partnership without making a regulatory claim. The formula contains hyaluronic acid, bifida ferment lysate, and a range of skin conditioning agents. These are functional, well-researched ingredients. The formula performs what a good, hydrating serum should perform. The issue is legacy. Advanced Night Repair is priced, marketed, and positioned as a clinically advanced product. The formula has evolved in incremental versions over 4 decades, but the core architecture, hyaluronic acid bifidoferment emollients, is now available from multiple brands at $25 to $45 for comparable volumes. The buyer paying $115.26 is, in significant part, paying for the 1982 origin story and the global marketing infrastructure that has maintained it. The story is real. The premium over comparable formulations is substantial. Yves Saint Laurent Beauty is owned by L'Oreal. The Pure Shots line retails the Night Reboots Serum at approximately $110 for 30 ml, approximately 3 bull punning counts for 30 ml. 67 per milliliter. The brand markets this serum around activated probiotic technology and overnight skin renewal. The packaging is a matte black bottle with the YSL monogram. The counter experience is among the most premium in department store beauty. The ingredient list opens with water, glycerin, and a series of emollients. The probiotic-derived ingredient appears mid-list. There is no disclosed concentration. The formula also contains alcohol denatured alcohol in the 4th position. Alcohol at this concentration level in a serum functions as a solvent and can compromise the skin barrier for a segment of users, particularly those with dry or sensitive skin. The brand does not highlight this ingredient in its marketing. The marketing emphasizes repair and renewal. The formula does what a glycerin-forward serum does. The position of alcohol in the ingredient list is a detail buyers with sensitive or compromised skin should know before purchasing. At $110 for 30 ml, with a brand narrative built around nighttime repair, that detail warrants disclosure. La Prairie is owned by Beiersdorf AG, the German consumer goods company also responsible for Nivea. The Skin Caviar line is La Prairie's flagship prestige franchise. The essence in lotion retails at approximately $320 for 150 ml. The caviar extract, Caviar Premier, is La Prairie's hero ingredient across the franchise. The brand describes it as a complex of amino acids and trace elements derived from caviar that delivers intensive cellular nourishment. The caviar origin is real. The extract is genuine. What the brand wants you to believe: that caviar extract produces skin transformation at a cellular level that no other ingredient category can replicate, and that the La Prairie concentration and delivery system make it uniquely effective. What the formula shows: caviar extract in this formula, as in other La Prairie products, appears below multiple standard cosmetic base ingredients in the INCI list. Caviar is a legitimate skin conditioning ingredient. Peer-reviewed clinical evidence for caviar extract as a superior active above other protein-derived and amino acid skin conditioners in comparable concentrations is limited. The amino acid and trace element profile of caviar extract is not dramatically different from other high-quality protein hydrolysates available at a fraction of the sourcing cost. At $320 for 150 milliliters, the buyer is paying one of the highest rates in the non-serum liquid category. The formulation does not disclose concentrations. The caviar narrative is the product. The formula supports it, but not at the level the price implies. His entry was covered briefly in a previous audit of this channel. It returns here because the serum format makes the pattern more visible than the cream. The serum retails at approximately $320 for 30 ml, approximately $10.67 per milliliter. Among the products on this list, that is the highest per milliliter cost by a significant margin. The central marketing claim is TSC8, Trigger Factor Complex 8, a proprietary blend the brand connects directly to Professor Augustinus Bader's clinical wound healing research. The professor is real. The published research is real. The published research is real. The wound healing work involved accelerating skin regeneration in clinical patients under controlled medical conditions with specific, measurable protocols. The retail serum is applied topically by consumers at home. The TFC8 concentration in this product is not disclosed. The clinical delivery conditions that characterize the research are not replicated in a dropper bottle. The brand's marketing bridges these two contexts, the clinical laboratory and a bathroom shelf, without providing the independent clinical data that would confirm the bridge holds. This is the most precisely engineered credibility transfer in the luxury serum market. Every element is deliberate. The professor's name, the medical photography, the white packaging, the language of regeneration, without the language of regeneration, without the language of a drug claim. The buyer pays $320 per 30 ml for a product built on the most sophisticated version of implied science in this category. without the disclosed data that would allow independent verification of what the $320 actually purchasing. 7 serums, 7 different brand architectures, 1 consistent pattern. The luxury serum market has optimized, over decades, for the appearance of science rather than the disclosure of it. The packaging is more regulated than the claim. The dropper is held to a higher standard than the concentration. The buyer is left to navigate that gap with almost no independently verified information available at the point of sale. Price does not equal potency. A clinical-looking bottle does not mean a clinical-grade formula. A professor's name on the campaign does not mean a professor's rigor in the concentration data. The 3 questions that matter before any serum purchase. Where does the hero ingredient appear in the INCI list? Does the brand disclose the concentration? And can you calculate the price per milliliter against a comparable formula? If the brand cannot answer the first 2, the third number tells you what you are actually buying. Drop your question in the comments. Which serum on this list surprised you most? And which one are you reconsidering right now? Subscribe. The Luxury Audit does not accept brand partnerships that influence rankings on this channel. Every formula reviewed here is evaluated on ingredient transparency, concentration data, and price-to-performance ratio. Nothing else drives the verdict. The serum market is built on what it implies. This channel is built on what it implies. This channel is built on what it can verify.